Hey, everybody. We want to thank you all for joining us at the IAAM Gala. The last couple of months have been a very challenging time for so many of us. We originally planned to do something live, but of course, we had to pivot like so many people have. And we're just grateful for the opportunity to keep the momentum going. Tonight, what you're going to see is a virtual table read of the classic project Coming to America. Now, this is going to be an abbreviated script with a little bit of improv. I'm going to play around with it. So just enjoy the show. We got some great folks on board. I am reading all of the narration lines, the one-liners, and the king.
Hello, my name is Calvin Evans. I will be reading Sweets and Randy Watson and doing pickup lines when Michael drops them.
Hi, my name is Danny Faulkner. I will be reading for The Preacher and apparently The Second Bum and Maurice.
Hey, I'm Lamore Morris. I'm reading for Clarence and also the sultry sounds of Sam Cooke on accident because somebody dropped their line.
What's going on, y'all? I'm Lil Rel Howery, and I'll be reading the role of a king.
Hi, everyone. I'm Lily Mason, and I'll be reading for the role of Lisa.
Of course, he on mute.
Hi, I'm being respectful, and I didn't drop lines. It was on mute. Okay. Hi, I'm Michael Isaac, and I'll be reading for Mr. McDowell and the old Jewish guy.
Hey, I'm Will Smith. This is what I look like not in hair and makeup. I know I look a little bit different than what y'all expected, but I read for the role of Simeon Oha. Your queen to be.
Sit back, enjoy the show, and thanks for tuning in. Peace. In a land far, far away, there once lived a prince who was much like you and me, except that he lived a whole lot better. Interior palace, hallway. Akeem strolls down the stately hallway, preceded by rose bearers.
We off to a great start.
Oha.
Who's Oha?
Will.
Oh, okay.
So, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, you are seeing this live and in effect, man. This is what it's like. And y'all know Brother Will Smith. Here we go. Akeem strolls down the stately hallway, preceded by rose bearers.
His Majesty must be very excited.
Why is that, Oha?
Today is your 21st birthday, which means you meet your wife today for the first time. This does not excite you?
I'm curious. How can a man be excited about a woman he's never seen?
So we fast forward to Prince Akeem in Zamunda. He's awaiting his new bride with his parents. Amani Izzy, the queen to be, a vision in a fabulous white gown. She has long black hair, her skin the color of caramel, her eyes are seductive and black as coal. Throughout the crowd, we hear oohs and ahs, and she walks down the long aisle towards Akeem. Suddenly, Oha begins to sing in a high tenor voice.
She's your queen to be, a queen to be forever, a queen who do whatever His Highness desires. She's your queen to be, the vision of perfection, an object of affection to quench your royal fire. Waiting for your direction. She's your queen to be.
Yes. He curtsies deeply to the prince. All eyes turn towards Akeem. The moment has come for him to ask the question. But Akeem is not really happy with this idea of an arranged marriage. So he and his father go for a walk. Time does seem to fly fast, my son. It seems like only yesterday I ordered your first diaper changed. And now you're a man who's about to get married. She will give you much pleasure, don't you think?
But I'm not sure if I'm ready. I'm 21 and I have never been outside of Zamunda. I have yet to experience the outside world has to offer. That is not.
You are right, my son. Get out, see the world, enjoy yourself, fulfill every desire, and in 40 days you will come back and marry Imani.
But
It
Father,
is settled. Interior, the huge ballroom, the king and Akeem stride in. May I have your attention, please? The wedding will proceed in 40 days. You may go home now. Good night. Oha, prepare the royal baggage. My son is going on a trip.
Prepare the royal baggage.
Akeem and Simi are walking hurriedly down the hallway.
This trip is an excellent idea.
Simi, look, I had something else in mind. Tell no one of this. I intend to find my bride.
What is wrong with the one you have now?
But look, I want a woman who would arouse my intellect as well as my loins.
Where will you find such a woman?
In America.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
Interior library. Akeem opens an atlas to a map of the United States.
This land is so big. The choice is so infinite. Where shall we go? Los Angeles, New York, Chicago.
You know something? We should let fate decide. Here's New York. Tails Los Angeles.
Akeem flips a coin. It's heads.
We go to New York.
But where in New York can we find a woman of grace? A woman of elegance, taste, culture, a woman suitable for a king.
Queens.
So fast forward. They make the trip to New York.
Fascinating. Look, Simi. Oh, America's great indeed. Imagine a country so free one could throw glass right on the street. Oh, Simi, you hear that? Listen. Real Americans.
Interior, the Mighty Shop barbershop. The head barber, a contentious old man named Clarence, is cutting a young man's hair while arguing with Sweets, an old black man who was getting a trim in the next chair. Morris, a sullen barber with a thin little Cab Calloway mustache, is eating lunch, sopping cornbread and a plate of collard greens. An elderly Jewish man sits reading a magazine.
Pound for pound, Sugar Ray Robinson, the best fighter that ever lived.
What about Joe Louis, the brown bomber? Now that dude could fight. That'll be $8.
Oh, young man. Oh, wait. $8. Oh, wow. I left my wallet. I'm gonna go run and get my wallet and get your money.
Well, I tell you what, before you go, when you bring your money, yeah, I'll be here.
The young man runs out of the barbershop. So as Akeem and Simi are walking down the street, they notice a Soul Glow commercial. Clarence and Sweets are still arguing. As usual, Morris is eating and the old Jewish man is reading.
Yeah, you must be out of your mind. Joe Louis is the baddest fighter that ever lived. I'll be with you guys in a minute. Man, he better than Cassius Clay. He better than Sugar Ray. He better than Mike Tyson. He better than all of them. He whip all they butts.
What about Rocky Marciano?
See, there we go. Every time we talk about boxing, some white man want to bring up Rocky Marciano. Rocky Marciano ain't squat.
He beat Joe Louis.
Joe Louis, 75 years old. He came out of retirement to get into the ring with Rocky Marciano. He was like, what, 75, 76 years old?
You're crazy.
Man, everybody knows Joe Louis always lied about his age. Frank Sinatra come in this shop one time and he sat right here in this chair. And I said, Frank, you take care of Joe? How old is he? Frank said, between me and you, Man, Joe, 137.
Oh man, you don't know no Frank Sinatra.
Oh, come on, man. Who's next?
Akeem gets in the chair.
Boy, what is this? This a weave or something? Man, what you got there?
Oh no, this is my natural hair. I've been growing it since birth.
What you putting here? What kind of chemicals?
Ain't no chemicals. It's nothing but juices and berries.
No, man, ain't nothing but the ultra-perm. How you want to cut?
You know something? Just make it nice and easy.
Okay. That'll be $8.
Simi, tell me the truth. How do I look?
You know what, my king? I think it's time to find your queen.
So we fast forward. Akeem and Simi go out on several dates trying to find his queen.
Is it my imagination, or does every woman in New York have a severe emotional problem?
I don't think we will ever find your queen.
They pass by the barbershop where Clarence is locking up for the night.
Hey, what's up?
Mr. Clarence, where can we find nice women?
Well, they ain't gonna just fall into your lap. You know, you gotta go out there. You gotta go out there and look.
Look, we've been looking all over. We've been to every bar in Queens.
Well, see, now that's where you screwed up. That's the problem. You see, if you want to find somebody nice, you got to go to a church or a library or this thing I'm going to tonight, right there. See, the Black Awareness Rally. That's what a real fine woman gonna be.
So here we go. YMCA Jackson Heights night. A big banner stretched across the stage reads Black Awareness Week, sponsored by Afro Glow. A well-dressed crowd representing a cross section of the community has gathered for the celebration, and on stage, a preacher is surrounded by 7 attractive women in swimsuits.
You know, I'm not here to preach today. Yes. But when I look at these lovely ladies who are contending in the Miss Black Awareness competition, I do not feel guilty. I do not feel ashamed because I know that this is proof that the Lord sits on high. He sits on his throne and looks down like a Hugh Hefner. Yes. And now, a very special treat. You all know him from his appearance as Joe the Policeman on the What's Going Down episode of That's My Mama. Please put your hands together for Jackson Heights' own Mr. Randy Watson. Yes.
Thank you, Bobby. Thank you, Bobby. When I told my little 6-year-old girl that I was appearing in the Black Awareness Week, she said, "Why? Black people know they're black." I said, "Honey, it's not enough to be black. We must also be aware." Band. I believe the children are the future. Teach them well and let them lead the way.
Randy Watson is finishing his song. He's down on his knees, racked with false emotion. His tucked shirt is open.
No matter what they take from me, they can't take away my dignity. Because the greatest love of all is inside of me. Thank you. Sexual chocolate. Sexual chocolate.
The crowd applauds politely. Randy bows deeply, as though it's a standing ovation.
Mr. Randy Watson. Yes. Thank you. Now, before we go any further, I'd like to thank Mr. Cleo McDowell, who has donated the fine food and beverages we are consuming here tonight.
Mr. McDowell, a self-made middle-aged businessman, he waves to the crowd from behind the counter where he's handing out cold hamburgers and warm soft drinks.
Cleo, I know you must be proud of your lovely daughter. We all are. So please welcome one of the organizers of today's festivities, Miss Lisa McDowell.
Now try to work in the plug for the new salad bar.
Daddy, I'm not mentioning the restaurant.
At least give them the address.
Back to Simi and Akeem.
Let's go.
No. Wait.
So back on stage, Lisa steps up to the microphone. She's a very pretty young woman, but it's more than her beauty that attracts us. Perhaps it's her self-confidence. Maybe it's her smile.
Thank you. You know, Black Awareness Week is an opportunity for self expression. Just a moment ago, Randy attempted to express himself through song in his own unique way, but the song makes a good point. The children are our future. That's why it's up to all of us to provide a place where our children can express themselves.
The crowd applauds. Akeem is mesmerized by her.
Wonderful.
Akeem.
Shh.
We need to rebuild Lincoln Park. Ushers are passing through with donation boxes. Please give all you can. We're happy to get the kind of money that jingles, but we'd rather get the kind that folds. Thank you.
She smiles. The preacher comes over.
Now, you heard the lady. So give it up.
People make small donations as the collection box is passed around.
Isn't she wonderful? Makes me think the L in her name stands for love, the I for intelligence, the S for sweet, and the A for always aware. And remember, this Friday night at the community center, a big dinner dance and the crowning of Miss Black Awareness.
Akeem is smitten, totally in love. Someone passes the box to him without taking his eyes off Lisa. He reaches into his pocket, pulls out a huge wad of money, and drops it in the box. All right, we fast forward to Akeem and Simi. They decide to get a job at McDowell's. Lisa is inside, working at her desk. Akeem passes by, still mopping.
Hey.
Hello.
Hello. I am Akeem.
Nice to meet you, Akeem.
Yes, nice to meet you too. I've recently been placed in charge of the garbage. Do you have any required disposal?
No, totally empty.
I see. Well, if you ever do, just call me and I would take care of it immediately. I got you.
That's good to know.
Well, when you think of garbage, think of Akeem. Well, I'm gonna just go now and finish the rest of the sanitation duties they have me doing because people tend to do really nasty things. There's a lot of crazy homeless people that use the restrooms for free. This is the 80s, so we didn't lock them out. So, but perhaps we should have more opportunity to speak on a professional level. Goodbye, Lisa.
Goodbye, Akeem.
Akeem mops away. Lisa grins, shaking her head. This guy is really strange. Here's the thing. Lisa's already dating a dude named Daryl, smooth-talking rich guy who Mr. McDowell really likes and wants Lisa to marry. Akeem thinks that getting a Jerry curl will help his chances. We fast forward back to the barbershop. Akeem enters.
Excuse me.
Oh, look, it's Kunta Kinte.
Hey, what's up?
Is it possible you can make my hair look like that?
Oh, man. What you want a big old floppy mess of hair on your head for? Have some pride. Wear it natural. You never saw Martin Luther King walking around with no greasy Jerry curl. I met Dr. King once.
You ain't never met no Martin Luther King.
Did too. In 1963, Tennessee. I was walking around the corner and this guy came up behind me and bam, he punched me right in the chest. I said, "Hey, Dr. King." And he said, "Oops, I thought you were somebody else."
Man, you lying.
Knocked the wind right out of me. Tried to lay me out. Yes, he did. Hey, why are you so worried about what you look like anyway?
I'm trying to get the interest of this certain young lady.
Well, I'm a barber, but you didn't hear me say this. But I ain't never heard a lady say that she was with a guy because of the way his hair looked. This American girl?
Yes.
Well, let me tell you something about these women in this country. Okay, the way they're hot is through their daddy. Once the old man likes you, you're home free.
So we fast forward back to the McDowell's restaurant. After a few moments, Akeem shows up at the door with his mop.
Mr. McDowell.
What is it?
I was wondering if you happened to see the professional football contest yesterday.
No, I didn't.
Oh, it was most exhilarating. The Giants of New York challenged the Packers of Green Bay. In the end, the Giants triumphed, kicking in Oblong football, made a pigskin through a large H. It was a ripping victory.
Son, I'm only going to tell you this once. If you want to work here, you got to stay off that crack cocaine.
The smile slowly drains from Akeem's face. He turns and mops across the floor, out of the room. All right, so quick fast forward. Akeem doesn't want anybody to know that he has royal ties, so he wants to keep that on the low. He tells everybody he's a goat herder, but he still is able to go out on a double date with Lisa, her boyfriend, and her sister. And while they're hanging out at the game, one of the vendors starts to bow and praise at Akeem. But Akeem just plays it off because he doesn't want Lisa to catch on to it. Fast forward back to the restaurant, Akeem and Simi help stop a robbery, so Mr. McDowell invite them to come to his house, only to find out that it's for work. And then come to find out Lisa's boyfriend and her dad plan to get Lisa to marry Daryl without her permission. This makes her very angry because no one even spoke to her. Lisa sits in a swing set left over from her childhood, still smarting over what's happened. Akeem appears behind her carrying a bottle of champagne and glass.
Lisa, would you like some champagne?
No thanks. I don't really feel like celebrating. Wait, hold on a second. On second thought, fill it up. You have some too.
Akeem fills up the other glass and settles into the childhood swing next to Lisa. Even in the swing, Akeem cannot conceal his regal bearing. He might as well be sitting on a golden throne.
Akeem, if you want to hang out with me, you gotta loosen up.
Oh, come on. I can be loose. See?
Much better.
Are you all right?
I'm fine. I'm not going to be pressured into marriage by Daryl, my father, or anybody.
You know something? I really know how you feel. In my country, many marriages are arranged. No, one should not marry out of obligation.
You're right. I mean, how could I have even considered marrying a guy like Daryl?
I was wondering the same thing.
He just made me so furious back there. You don't think I overreacted, do you?
No, the first reactions are usually the correct one.
I don't know. I shouldn't be laying all my problems on you, Akeem.
You're not doing it. I don't mind. I'm a waiter at your dad's house. I have nothing else to do.
You're right. You are. And you know what else? You're very easy to talk to. I feel like I can tell you anything.
Well, you can. If you know something, I forgot I was here on domestic duties.
Thanks for listening to me, Akeem. I really appreciate it.
Anytime, Lisa McDowell.
Akeem walks back into the house, smiling with a spring in his step. And so they see each other at work a few more times, and eventually they set up a dinner date. Exterior McDowell's restaurant. Akeem and Lisa are leaving work. He's patiently, oh, that ain't how you say that. He's patiently listening to her problems.
Maybe I'll stay with him just because everyone expected me to. Do you know what I mean? Ugh, you must be tired of hearing about my problems with Daryl.
No, not at all.
I feel like I owe you a favor. Why don't you come to my house and I'll fix you dinner? Patrice will be there.
Oh, your sister who gave me a rubbing at the game. You know, no. You know, something. How about we go to my place?
Why?
Because you know, I want to cook for you.
You cook?
Dabble a bit.
Great. Tell you what, I'll buy the groceries.
Fine, but before we go to my place, I must warn you. My apartment is very poor. There's a murder in there. We also have a big rat who moved in, doesn't pay any rent, eats all the cereal. But
Oh,
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
Um, I don't care about that. I'd love to see where you live.
Fast forward, interior the stairwell of Akeem's apartment building. Akeem and Lisa are walking up the stairs carrying sacks of groceries. Stu, the drunk, lies passed out on the stairs.
Yes, don't pay him no mind. Every time the rent is due, he does this. You can step right over this man. He's harmless.
Despite her good attitude, Lisa is not prepared for the disgusting sight of the hallway.
I'm so sorry. Once again, this place looks a mess. I'm very sorry. Is that it, or am I wrong? Sorry. Once again, I apologize for the squalor of these surroundings. Look, I hope you won't think less of me.
I know who you are, King. I don't judge people by how much money they have.
So look, they plan to cook at Akeem's apartment, but he goes in first just to make sure the coast is clear. So before he lets Lisa in, he notices Simi spent a whole lot of money on renovations. And if Lisa sees this, she's gonna know he's got big money. So Akeem takes Simi's money so he doesn't make any more problems.
I'm very sorry.
Can we go in now?
No. Okay, we just can't. I'm sorry.
Why not?
Remember the rat I said we had in there earlier? This rat decided to steal some products and some things, and he put it all inside this place. And the rat said the cops could be at some point on their way to get this stuff, and it's just really bad. And the rat is going crazy. I want him to have you. Look, it's a big deal.
You know what I think? I think that there is no talking rat inside. I think you're just ashamed of your apartment and you can't let me see it.
Whoa, you are you're a genius. You need a psychic network. You're way before Azana Vizant. You could tell people what their life need to be. You're correct. You judge me correctly.
Well, if it bothers you that much, we can go out.
I would love that better. More than anything.
As Akeem and Lisa walk down the street, they pass by a bum.
Excuse me for a moment.
Akeem walks over, gives the bum a paper bag, which contains the money. He rejoins Lisa.
What did you give him?
I gave him some crack cocaine.
I'm sorry, what'd you say? I don't think I.
No, I gave him some money to these very wealthy white men who usually take advantage of black people. But it's all good. Let's help.
Okay. All right.
So it's late at night, and they're at a tavern. This place is pretty much emptied out. The bartender's wiping down the bar. Two middle-aged customers just finishing their last round. A lone waitress brings two after dinner drinks to the booth where Akeem and Lisa have just finished a very pleasurable dinner. Over the juice box, we hear Sam Cooke's version of "You Send Me."
To America.
Why'd you come here?
I came here to find something special.
It's an awfully long way to travel.
No journey is too great when one finds what he seeks.
Does everyone in Africa talk like you?
Yes, in most movies, they make Africans with a lot of women. But why do you like it?
Actually, I love it. It's nice to be with a man who knows how to express himself.
There's a tapping on the window. It's the bum. He's jubilant, holding up the bag of money, kissing it.
Thank you.
God bless
God
you,
bless you,
man.
man.
This extra bum just came out of nowhere.
You have the most amazing effects on people.
No, I don't.
It's true. Look at the guy at the basketball game the other day. And then these two bums, people love you. I bet where you're from, the women practically throw themselves at your feet.
It's kind of true. They hop, they do a lot of things. But what makes you think that?
Because you've got a kind of inner glow, like you're above anything petty. It's almost regal. What did you do back home?
I was in the family business,
What's that?
goat herding.
Really?
Yeah, really, yes. Does that surprise you?
No, it's just you seem so educated.
Well, the life of a goat herder is not all that demanding. So the goats pretty much take care of themselves. So it gives men like me time to do some reading and learn some things and just let the goats run around and do what they do goat things.
The waitress brings the check. Akeem reaches for it. Lisa puts her hand on his.
Please, let me.
No, no, it's not right. I should.
Akeem, I wish you stopped worrying about being poor. If I wanted a wealthy guy, I'd be with Daryl, not you.
There's a beat of silence as Akeem and Lisa look at one another, their hands still touching. In the background, we can hear Sam Cooke singing.
You send me, honest you do, honest you do.
I thought Tim could really, so it's would you like to dance?
Yes.
They get up from the table. Akeem takes Lisa in his arms and they begin to dance slowly, gracefully. Lisa places her head on his shoulder. He clutches her closer to him, and now they are barely moving, just holding each other tight. Lisa looks into Akeem's eyes.
What about Patrice?
I'm not interested.
What about Daryl?
I'm not interested in that Jerry Crow and Nanny.
They kiss as the song ends. They remain in an embrace, lost in their own world. Akeem walks home, sings, "To be loved, to be loved." Oh, what a feeling. Now, Mr. McDowell disapproves of all of this, and he wants Lisa to marry Daryl. But while all this is happening, Simi went and called Zamunda for some more money, which raised suspicions with the king. But back at the restaurant, Maurice hurries in, all excited.
Mr. McDowell, somebody's here to see you.
Are they from McDonald's?
I don't think so.
Mr. McDowell hurries out the restaurant. Interior,
What,
back in Mr. McDowell's restaurant, the king and the queen and their minions are waiting patiently.
what can I do for you?
Oha,
He is King Jaffe Jaffa, ruler of Zamunda. He is searching for his son, Akeem.
Your son?
yes, my son, the prince.
A prince? Are you sure?
Of course, Prince Akeem is the sole heir to the throne of Zamunda.
I knew there was something special about that boy.
Yes, it is.
Can you tell me where he might be?
Oh, yeah, he's out with my lovely daughter, Lisa. You know, it's a beautiful thing when two children get together and sitting in a tree and KISS and
Of
ING.
all the things he could do to disgrace me, I am staying at the Waldorf Astoria. When you see him, call me.
I'll tell him you're here.
No, do not alert him to my presence. I shall deal with him myself for your trouble. The king and company exit as quietly as they
Thank
came.
you, Your Royal Highness.
Mr. McDowell watches them take off in a magnificent limousine. He can't believe it. He looks at the bill in his hand. It's £100 note from Zamunda, imprinted with the royal portrait of Akeem. Of course, this excites Mr. McDowell, and they discuss making sure that they can all connect at the house. So back in Mr. McDowell's house, he breaks the news to Lisa that she was actually talking to a prince the whole time. They call the king back. The king is very upset with his son, that he's fallen in love with a stranger that wasn't arranged. an outsider, and he insults Lisa and her dad, which forces Lisa to run away, and Akeem chases her to find out where she's gone. Interior train, first car. Lisa walks quickly through the car. Akeem follows her, pushing past the crowd of passengers. The train starts moving.
Lisa, please listen to me.
Just because you have money, it doesn't mean you can play with people's feelings.
I did not mean to hurt you.
At least I know who sent me these. Well, you know what? I don't want them, and I don't want you.
They keep going to the third car.
Please, look, Lisa, I love you.
What about the woman you're supposed to marry?
I do not love her. Why do you think I came to America?
Your father told me to sow your royal oats.
I don't even know what that means, Lisa. Look, I came here to find my queen. Queen.
Then why did you lie to me? Why didn't you tell me you were a prince?
I wanted you to love me for who I am.
I'm not sure who you are.
I am a man you fell in love with, who's also never tied his own shoes before I got here. Honestly, should this make any difference that I am a prince?
It shouldn't, but
all you have to do is tell me right now you do not love me when I told you I was. If you say that, I will never bother you.
It would never work out. We're too different. You're royalty, for God's sake.
Oh, okay. You think I care about that? You want me to renounce my throne? You know something? I renounce my throne. That's right. None of you know who I am, but I'm actually a prince. Not a crazy person on the train. I renounce my throne.
Stop. I can't let you do that.
What is that, Velvet?
Marry me, piece of big time.
I'm sorry. I can't. Goodbye, Akeem.
Oh, Lisa hurries off the train. Akeem watches crestfallen as she runs out of the station. Well, that's the end of it, and that's what we think. But we fast forward back to Zamunda, where Akeem's going to go through with his arranged marriage with whoever the king is chosen, only to find out when he unveils the veil, it's Lisa hiding behind the veil. It surprises Hakeem, and he loves it.
Really,
would you really have given all this up for me?
Of course. I mean, if you want me to, I can give it up now.
Nah.
They kiss, and the end. Coming to America, the first one, abbreviated.
That boy got his own money.
Oh, wow. Thank you all. Thank you.